Hey, how's it going? I'm Mystic Miyamoksha, and we are looking at the energies of you, them, and the truth. This could be you and your romantic partner. This could be you and someone that's of significance to you, a family member, a friend, a coworker. It could be you versus a group, you and your work, or a group of people. It could be you that's in a group of people versus a person. It could be the masculine and feminine energies are within yourself, within you and your relationship, within you and another dynamic, within you and the collective, your neighbors, your community. Or it could be the dueling energies of the collective that is trickling down into your individual life, and that you could also see in your external life. And then we're also looking at the truth, the higher aspect, the unity aspect of the situation. So however it resonates, but it will resonate with you in one area of your life. This is just Spirit saying this is the most important relationship situation, connection going on right now. So however this energy shows up into your life, that's where Spirit is bringing in focus. Okay. So what is the energy here? All right. Here we go. The Knight of Swords for you. Okay. So I feel like you have something you want to say. Maybe you're not given the opportunity to say it, or you're building up the courage, mustering up the courage to say this, or you're about to say this. Something about communicating something. Okay, and the dueling energy, them, the other side. Okay. Six of Pentacles. What you might not see is that they want to offer you something. They want to give back to you. They want to communicate with you as well, or just give you something that you would like. You may not see this though. Okay. That's why you want to communicate with this other person or situation. But you may not see that they also want to give back to you. If you desire communication from them on something, they want to give that back to you. But you don't see this yet. What they don't see in you is how much you've been waiting. You've been holding back. Okay, and then the higher aspect. Five of Fire. Okay. This is a conflict, but it's not necessarily a bad conflict. I feel like this is just something that you and this individual or group or whatever situation hasn't got a chance to, haven't had a chance to talk about this, or you guys haven't been in a situation like this yet. Maybe if this is a new person in your life, you haven't had a conflict or argument or disagreement with this person yet. If this is a work situation, everything was smooth sailing, but there's a obvious problem that's arising, or some issue, and you and this other person or group are seeing things, how to solve this problem differently. What you guys are both not seeing is that you guys may be both on the same page and don't realize it, or kind of like two sides of the same coin. And even though you're both looking at the situation or conflict or disagreement differently, the solution is somewhat similar. Like you guys could come to a compromise or like a very good win-win situation. It's just that you both haven't had like some sort of conflict before, some sort of friction. And so both of you are unsure how to tackle this, because this is like the first time coming to have to talk about this kind of situation. So that's what I'm kind of getting. Okay. Let's look at your energy and their energy right now. Yeah, Ace of Swords. You do really want to communicate. Oh, yeah. You have something to say and you're about to say it. It's like I get this like image of like someone pacing back and forth in a room. Like, I really have to say this. Like, it's going to bother me if I don't. But then I get on the other side, they're like just about to tell you something similar to what you want to tell them or ask them. And it's kind of like all that anxious energy just goes out the window. And you're just like, okay, well, I've been thinking about this all day. I've been thinking about this all week. And I've been like, you know, I've been really wanting to tell you this, but I didn't know how to or if I should. Or I want to ask you something, or let's see. And now you come through and just kind of address the situation well enough, not completely, but well enough that you're just like, okay, there goes all my anxious energy, like all that worrying for nothing. Oh, all that overthinking for nothing. Yeah, Six of Pentacles. Yeah, the 2 6 of Pentacles here. Yeah, and then they come through, like I said, and they just squash that curiosity that you had, or that that thing that you need to know about the situation, or yeah, something that was like bothering you so much, or that was like kind of like it was being amplified in your mind so much that's like, okay, I'm just gonna come out and say it, or I'm just gonna come out and ask, or I'm just gonna, you know, do this. Okay, so them on this other side. Ooh, okay. 6 of Cups. And it's so interesting because they feel the same way about you, because they feel like they need to like step up. They feel like they need to step up and like kind of reciprocate. You know, 2 6s here is the number of harmony. And they weren't sure if they were making the right decision. So for them, they wanted to make things right with you. Also, they also wanted to like, maybe they didn't really want to communicate or answer this question or kind of come out and say what you wanted them to say. But they recognize and acknowledge that like you deserve it, that you deserve to know, or at least some of it, you know, at least like start, like scratch the surface at least. They feel like you deserve to know something. You deserve to know at least like a part of what's going on, or, you know, like maybe there's some sort of like situation where they're kind of ignoring you, or you feel like they're not like kind of saying everything, and you might feel like kind of like, are they lying? Are they being deceitful? Or are they just having trouble saying what they need to say? Or is it some issue that's bigger than what I think it is, and like, you know, they're more in trouble and I need to know and they're not telling me. So there's like you're overthinking this, like, what could it be? Why aren't they telling me? Why are they acting so weird? Why is this so weird, the situation? And they're like, you know, like, it's getting a little weird. Like, I should say something to them. I should tell them at least a little bit, if not like most of what's going on. They feel like you deserve to know because you're so like loyal or kind to them. So even if they're uncomfortable or it's not something they would normally do, they do feel like you deserve to know. Wow, another 6. Okay. Very beautiful energy. Okay, so my favorite site to look up angel numbers is Joanne Sacred Scribes. And I believe 666 is a beautiful number. All numbers are very beautiful numbers. They're all divine. If you have an issue with the number 666, it's probably because it's something that you need to work on. You're stuck in the material world, the 3D world, and until you can accept the energy of 333 and the beauty of it, only then can you pass on to the 777, which is the divine heavenly numbers, being open and being more connected to the higher realms. So that's what I have to say about that. I've been preaching about that for a long time. But like 666, maybe that they're focusing too much on the material world and like monetary world, the money, and they're not really looking at the spirituality or the family aspect of this situation and dynamic. So they might be thinking very like logically about how to handle this situation, and they have some sort of fear or concern over how you might take the news. But for you, it's kind of like, I don't care if it's bad news. We can work through it together. Like no connection, whether it's between you and a romantic partner or a friend or a family member or a work situation, home situation, or, you know, this is if this collective as a whole, like, you know, if there's a new modern problem, how do we work through it? How do we work through this for our community, our neighborhoods? But coming back to you and this person, they might be so focused on making you worried about a money situation or losing some sort of financial asset, something really big, maybe, you know, losing a car or a home or some sort of inheritance, or maybe losing a friend or a family member. I'm getting not like they passed away, but like losing, like having to cut someone off in their life that was very important. So they feel like they don't want to burden you with it. They don't want to concern you with it, or they don't know how to flip it. So like they want to wait until they have good news too. But like for you, it's kind of like, it doesn't matter if it's bad news, whether it's a work situation or a relationship or a friend. It's just like, just tell me and maybe we can work through it. Maybe I can help you. Maybe I can support you, you know? Like maybe it can ease your burden just by, you know, just by you venting to me, or, you know, letting me bend my ear. But they recognize it. They recognize that like, oh, they're, you know, they've been focusing on the physical aspect of the situation. Like they've been thinking about it very logically for so long that they do see that underneath, like I'm getting like you kind of come off kind of like strict or stern, or giving them the silent treatment, or like, you know, sticking your nose up at them, like like they feel like that you might be like better than the situation, that you might look down at them for the situation. They feel like that you're being cold to them, and they're realizing they don't know about the situation. You don't know about the situation, so how could you be cold towards them because of this money issue or this material or finance or physical issue if you don't know about it? And then now they're realizing and they're recognizing, oh, they're being cold to me because I'm not opening up to them. They might be very like physical minded, logical minded. So this is definitely the masculine. This is definitely the feminine. But like they're definitely getting the hint that like, oh, they're not mad at me because of what's going on with me. They don't even know what's going on with me. They're being a little bit cold or aloof, or they feel that way about you because I'm not telling them what's going on. I'm being cold. So they're matching my energy. They're being cold back. Or that's how they view this. Okay, so let's get more information on the higher perspective energy, then we'll pull a few more cards on each side. Okay. Yeah, Spirit is saying here, or the unity aspect here, is that like this is a good thing. This energy is actually a really good thing. It's something to be celebrated, because it's a way that you both are working through this. These both energies are working through to work with each other, to collaborate with each other, to figure things out together. You're just figuring out how to figure things out between the two of you, you know? So this is, I feel like, either a new thing or something that you guys haven't, like, hasn't occurred between the two of you before, or not for a long time. And so it's kind of, you forget that you're team members. You're working towards a common goal. This might be something that makes you team members, make you closer as team members, partners, you know? And it's just kind of like, this is a good thing. This is this thing that seems like a conflict is actually you two discovering that it's not just you or them. It's the two of you. It's like two brains work better than one kind of thing. That you're not alone. That issue that one person might have might affect the other person and the connection. Therefore, it's not just yours anymore. That kind of thinking. So it's like kind of alleviating that kind of thinking that you're all alone, or that you don't have other people to kind of support you or to lean on or to ask for help here or there. I feel like these two energies have been so independent for such a long time, especially in the masculine and feminine energy. Like they've been so not accepting of their role in this connection as a whole, that like now it's kind of like starting the conversation. It's like literally starting the conversation between these two energies, these two people, of like, okay, I'm ready to try this. I'm ready to see what it's like to talk to someone when I'm going through something big, because it's not just affecting me anymore. It's affecting this connection, this group. Let me try this out. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. The 10 of Cups. Oh wow, this is a very, very auspicious event, whether either of you realize it or not. This creates, like, this whole situation was about, like, this masculine energy, like, focusing too much on how this physical or monetary 3D issue, I feel like it's a them thing. It's mostly on their side. It's something they're dealing with in terms of money or bills or their car or their home or their job, or like, releasing a family member or a friend. And so they feel like, why should I burden them? They're thinking about it very logically, like, okay, I'll deal with this and then I'll be back to normal and then we can work together again. Or like, let me like solve this issue on my own, and then I'll tell them about it afterwards. But they're realizing, like, that's not the situation anymore. That's not how they can handle this. Like, they need to let you know what's going on. And then they realize that, like, it's not just you, but you two combining together, kind of going back and forth, figure out a solution. It's not just you telling them a solution. It's not them thinking of a solution themselves. Like, they think of a solution or figure out whatever this situation is on the emotional level with the two of you so well that they because I'm like, where should I put this 10 of Cups? Should I put it on this side or this side? But like, it works out so well that they are just like alleviated from so much like heaviness on their heart, even if they don't figure out the physical situation, like their physical problem that they're having with like money or something physical 3D, immediately, just being able to talk to you about it and then figuring out like what is the core issue here, what's the thing that's really the problem here, really sends them to the moon. I mean, they're like ecstatic. They're like, I can't believe they helped me solve this problem, not in a physical, logical way, but in an emotional way. They got me to figure out what the core issue here is. And so now I can solve that. And that will solve so many things, the underlying issue here, instead of just the physical surface level issue. They're ecstatic. They can't believe that talking to you about this and you guys talking about it a little bit brought them this kind of solution. Okay. So let's look at what Spirit has to say about your situation, their situation, and then the outcome and the Spirit's advice. Okay. Ooh, so many cards. Okay. 3 of Cups in this deck. This deck comes with its own like meaning for each card, or specific meanings that I like to use. 3 of Cups in this deck is uncover the truth. So we have 3 of Cups here. It's like uncover the truth. Yeah, you want to uncover the truth. What is going on here? You know, like, can we? I feel like you just kind of like, with your energy being so in tune to the situation or person or connection or whatever, you kind of know like your truth is being withheld from you, communication is being withheld from you, you know, and it's like you kind of want to say something because of that, because like, you know, something's fishy, something is off, you know, you might have multiple signs of it too, in the physical from them. The Hanged Man. Okay, in this deck, the Hanged Man signifies suspension of movement. Yeah, it's like things haven't been moving forward. So things might have been going well. So whether it's a work situation, a romantic situation, or a family friend situation, like things might have been moving forward pretty well, but then things just stopped out of nowhere. And it's like very obvious for you because things were moving along and then it just kind of stopped. And then the Ace of Wands. Freedom from restraints. And you're like, okay, I feel like you've worked on yourself enough. You worked on this situation enough. Like whether it's a friend's situation, you worked on having a good group of people around you. You're like, I'm not going to tolerate friends who aren't, you know, to the level that I expect them to be at in this point of my life, when you kind of worked on a situation. Or, you know, if it's a romantic situation, it's like, you know, I worked on having good communication in my relationships. I'm not going to tolerate not being opened up to when it's necessary to know what's going on. If it's a work situation, it's like, you know, I put in the hours to get this position. I'm not going to tolerate having coworkers or the higher ups not giving me the respect of letting me know when there's something that affects the workplace, the company, or your livelihood, or your job, your position. So you're kind of like, you know, like, I deserve to know. I worked hard for the things I have now, so I need to be in the loop, you know? And yeah, because freedom from restraint, like, you worked hard to have freedom in your workplace, your friendships, in your family relationships, in your romantic relationships, in your home environment space. You worked hard to have freedom in these areas. And you feel like something's restraining you. Something is kind of like holding you back. And it's this situation. And what about them? Okay. We have the King of Wands here. Unexpected good news. Okay. So the situation they're in, it might not completely be a bad situation. It might be that they got a promotion, or they got, like, a job offer somewhere else, or it could be someone that they're interested in the past came back and are interested in them. It could be that the family and friends are pushing them to move forward with you in a certain way. Or it could be the opposite of that, but because of those situations, they know what to do now. The job is kind of not treating them right, and they're like, okay, I know that I have to move on, and they may be applying to other jobs, or they have more of an idea of the kind of career they would like to go into next. Or maybe a friend of theirs is like, oh yeah, you shouldn't be with this person, and they're like, okay, just because this friend said it and I've been having bad vibes about this friend, they've been telling me all the wrong advice, now I know what to do. Now I know that this is the right person. Just like they get so whether it's good news or it's like bad news, but because it's the bad news, they know what to do next. That's good news. If that makes sense. 5 of Pentacles in this card. Okay. 5 of Pentacles. This deck is possible financial loss. So this could be like a good news, bad news kind of thing. Like, okay, they figured out like the kind of job that they want to go for, but that means they have to quit this current job, and they know they're going to be like kind of in a weird in-between period where they're not going to be able to spend as much, and they don't want to tell you about that. Or they're trying to figure out a way to tell you about that, or kind of figure out a solution of how to budget and like figure out a plan before they tell you. Maybe they have to move. Maybe they have to sell something. Yeah. So I'm getting good news, bad news kind of thing. And the Knight of Cups. Okay. Knight of Cups in this deck is deep involvement. But they're so deeply involved with you and that they realize they have to tell you what's going on in their life, whether it's a family situation, a friend situation, a romantic situation, a work situation, or whatever. They feel that like they're so involved with you. They have such a great friendship with you. They have such a good relationship with you as a family member. They have such a high respect for you as a work situation, or just high respect for you in terms of a romantic situation, that they realize that they have to get you involved. They are deeply involved with you, that therefore you're already involved in this situation, even though they might, at surface, it might look like there's just theirs. Okay. I'm going to get what Spirit feels. Situation between the two of you by the book. So I feel like both of you know the right thing to do here. It's kind of obvious. Kind of like I got the kind of the notion of like in a partnership, whether it's a business partnership or a romantic situation or even a friendship, when one person is upset, the other partner has to be the strong one. One person's feeling weak or vulnerable, the other person has to, automatically, just instinctively, like, steps up and becomes the leader and the strong person. Whether they're feeling weak and vulnerable too, it just kind of naturally happens in a strong partnership. And I feel like that's kind of what Spirit wants both of you to see here, is just like them showing that they're at a weak and vulnerable spot to you will allow you to step up and lead them out of that situation. And then you both have this kind of banter. You guys both kind of like brainstorm some situation and find out that you guys are better together than alone in handling these kind of situations. And this is kind of like I want to say like coming of age situation, but like of this connection. This is kind of like a milestone in this connection, like something that just happens. It's been happening for generations. It's been happening on this planet with humans forever. Just kind of something, a natural leveling up point where you guys are both aware that like, oh, we're a unit now. We work in tandem. We move up together. We can, that's the strength of a partnership like this. Spirits, reason for this: nurture yourself and let your faith be renewed. You already know the way. I'm getting like the way, like, you're probably so used to just nurturing yourself. If this is the energy within you, like, nurture yourself. You've overthought a lot of things. You've been using a lot of logic to come at this. Be honest with yourself. Open up to yourself and be like, hey, this is really what's going on with me. And then comfort yourself and let yourself know that it's going to be okay. If this is a situation going on with you or your partner or the other person or group, know that you don't have to just nurture yourself. You can open up to another person and be vulnerable and let yourself be nurtured by that individual or group or person. Let your faith be renewed. I feel like both of you have this kind of like stigma against opening up to other people. Maybe you've been hurt in the past. Maybe you try to create an environment in your work where it's like, everyone gets along, and then like it kind of always backfired, or just didn't work for a long period of time. It just always kind of faded out. Your friends always kind of screwed you over. You let your family, you try to open up with your family many times before. But I'm getting, this is different, and you know it, and you can feel it. This is kind of Spirit's way of easing you into more faith in yourself and your ability to make decisions, good decisions, right, the highest and best and divine decisions for your life. Trusting yourself that you are with someone that's good for you, whether it's a friend or family member or a romantic relationship or workplace, when it might have not been in the past. To give it a chance again, to go there, to open up and be vulnerable again, which is, I'm getting here, that's like the main part. It's like being vulnerable with someone, allowing someone to be vulnerable with you, creating that kind of environment, remembering what it was like before you were kind of traumatized by whatever the situation was. Letting your faith be renewed in yourself to make these right decisions, in the other person, that they're the real deal, and in your divine path, that you're far along enough in your divine path that these aren't issues that you have to really deal with anymore. Trusting in the wrong people, or being vulnerable to the wrong people, or being betrayed in some sort of way. or that you can't handle it if someone were to betray you, that you know all the red flags, and you know, even if it happens again, you know the right risks to take with the right people or entities, environments. You already know the way. You already know this was eventually going to come through in your life. You've prepared for it. You worked on it. So you knew that this is going to come up in your life at some point. This is Spirit's way of easing you into this. Okay. So last bit of what would they like to say to you? Okay. They want to address what you said to them. Okay. Okay. I left because you told me to. I feel the same way. So I feel like this is for both of you. Both of you are kind of like giving each other like kind of the silent treatment or the cold shoulder. If not like very obviously, like in a small way. We see something like kind of stagnate between the two of you. Like things aren't moving forward. You guys didn't talk like as you would talk before. Something like that. Both of you are feeling this. So this is something that's within you, within them, and within the connection. This is like you. This goes both ways. This goes both ways. And what's the higher truth here? What's the higher truth? I've thought about surprising you with a date. So I do feel like there's some sort of like surprise situation that might come through. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like they're going to try to surprise you, or you're going to try to surprise them, or you know, they might try to surprise you physically, and you might surprise them emotionally with what you have to say, because I feel like you're the one who's going to communicate, or the more feminine energy here, and they want to reciprocate, but they're probably going to do it in a more physical way, in a gift or an event or something like that. I cannot escape the way you make me feel. So they're like they're too deeply involved with you or the situation to kind of not address this issue or to walk away from it. They know that they have to say something. And my heart is wide open. Okay, so at least we know that they are willing, and you are willing to open your heart up to the situation, be a little vulnerable, be a little bit open-minded and open with your emotions, your goals, and communication, open communication. So this is the direction it's going, and this is how it will probably happen. Several months. So this might be something that takes place within the next several months, or something that is like a journey that starts now for the next several months. Like this might be something that starts off with like a small disagreement, or it's like both of you not being able to talk about things, and then you guys start opening up more as in the next 4 to 5 months. And material things. So you're going to be surprised how both of you opening up about to each other about emotions is actually going to bring in material wealth as well. Yeah, I got like some sort of material. So it could be like money. It could be a home situation, furniture, car, transportation related things. It could be just clothes, dressing better for the other person, products, different kind of shampoo and perfume and cologne, food, being able to cook dinner together, going out for dinner together, a nicer spots, putting in the effort, doing the research to find nice spots for each other, buying gifts for each other, buying gifts for yourself, to improve yourself, to improve this connection, living well, enjoying the finer things. I'm getting maybe a better job opportunity, or opportunity to make money, or a side gig. enjoying music, outings, art together, shows, movies, books. Just enjoying the pleasures that material things can give to a process like this. Like, I feel like you guys are both opening up, and not just opening up about what happened to each of you in the past, or how you feel about the situation and other things in your life at this time in your life, but like thinking about the future, being open to new things, being open to learning new things about yourself and each other, and new opportunities for each of you individually or together. And so Spirit's going to bless you with more material things and more money to do things, or more opportunities to try new things, because you two are deciding to open up with each other. So that's how that works. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Much love and light.